Hey, it's Mark. I've got some stocks we're gonna look at today. I haven't really been trading a lot. Like I put on a couple positions today, but I've just been kind of waiting for see what the next move is with the market here. It's just kind of slow ramp down, and yeah, a lot of the indices are looking really different. Like the Nasdaq's looking a lot different than the Russell, and the interesting thing today is KRE was up. It's positive today, but it's still pretty range bound, and like these markets have just been pretty choppy and slow. So that's the way these sort of bear market corrections, you could call it, they're if this turns out to be a real serious correction, they can be really slow. Like last year I kept expecting the VIX to spike and some volatility to come in, which I really like to trade actually, but it never really came in. So it was kind of a slow year last year where it seemed like anytime the market's in like a correction phase, it just seems like it could, you know, change direction in any week. Pretty much that's how slow the pace of the sell off is. Which is good. Because it's just a healthy pullback, but it's not like there's a panic or anything, which is it's a good thing to have for a pullback. So these pullbacks are just like it just seems pretty controlled, and the VIX is still pretty low. I mean, the VIX just keeps spiking down, like I was really thinking about some uh, some puts on the vehicle on the VIX vehicles, but I mean, I think there's just better opportunities for alpha here. It's like if it does come down, it's going to be really slow, and the options don't really work out. Didn't seem to work out for that. Say this if this vehicle hits like 23 or 22 in a month or two. I mean, the options just don't seem to be the best way to trade it. Like I don't trade the future. Like you can trade the futures too, but I don't really. I just don't have a good vehicle to really trade them. But I think there's better stuff anywhere. There's better stuff to trade anyway. Like like I'm just expecting. I'm expecting this Bitcoin rally to probably continue too, and CIFR is a good long on a Bitcoin breakout. Like the Bitcoin levels, I was looking at 25 150 on Bitcoin. Like I don't have it pulled up here, but if Bitcoin hits 25,150, give or take, a few bucks, that's a good level to get long. Or I think it's gonna at least continue off of that. But I'm just gonna play it with these stocks because I can get pretty good leverage on the options. On these high short interest miners. Like I do have some Bitcoin. That's part of like my diversified portfolio, but Bitcoin's not a big position, but I do have a position, like a long-term position, but just to have some diversification. But one of the things I found Foot Locker. Foot Locker was really tempting today on this pop up. Like I think like it's just been down after earnings, and looks like some the consensus got readjusted, and to me that's like just a really long bear flag probably. But it's kind of long. The fact that it went up over this former level there, it's pretty. I'd be more convinced if it had double topped right here and hit this level back in September, and then it flagged. But yeah, it's just so choppy. I think it could easily get some. It could get some upward momentum. I think just based on the technicals, because it's not downtrending. It's technically uptrending off that down spike. But I mean, the longer term chart, of course, is nasty. That's what I was looking at as a longer term chart, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in the weakness of the company. So I think there's better opportunities like housing, these housing related housing sector, and these EV charging stocks. Like I found a good Twitter post. Somebody did a pretty good breakdown on the businesses of these EV charging companies, and they're pretty bad. There's a lot of them going bankrupt, and I didn't realize there's a lot of competition. There's so much competition in this market for the EV charging stations. So it's like, yeah. So I got it pulled up here. It's a lot of companies. These I posted it back. I posted it on Twitter, and I just like calling it Twitter sometimes, even though it's X. But I know it's X, but I just like calling it Twitter sometimes. I think maybe the us old heads could give it the Twitter name too. We could have like a dual name. Because pretty much if you say nobody says X, they say Twitter slash X, or Twitter, the company also known as X. It's like Prince, the singer. But I'm kind of an old head, so yeah, this guy's been doing some research. Looks like there's a lot of bankruptcies, and EVgo's last capital infusion was May 23 this year. ChargePoint has a high burn rate, and I think what it was the I'm not gonna read all of this, but basically it says that a lot of the big manufacturers are trying to create a network too, and it seems that the infrastructure, there needs to be some kind of plan for infrastructure. I guess maybe the states are leaving it up to the companies, like, or at least the the markets. Like, yeah, I don't know like what the regulations are on that, or what if there are any. But it just seems like it's totally a free market, which is cool. But that's gonna create a lot of competition where there's gonna be a lot of ones that fail, which is just the nature of it. But like there's EV charging companies in the U.S. like Electrify, Blink, Shell, Tritium, Borg, Warner, BP, Terawatt, Flow, and 23 a consortium of OEMs, including BMW and others, plans for a collaborative venture aimed at constructing an expansive EV charging network. Yeah, so I mean, the competition is just really intense. So yeah, I mean, these a lot of these are just burning cash. It looks like. I mean, look at EVgo, the pretty substantial burn rate, and then they got a raise, but I mean, if the stocks keep going down, that should make it harder to raise. If they're raising capital that way, and yeah, it seems the technicals were really onto something there, because I was pretty much just looking at the technicals and kind of what I figured was going on, in the market fundamentally. And while I was kind of reading the news flow on Tesla's expansions, which it seems to be Tesla's not the only one, disrupting the market. So yeah, EVgo, ChargePoint. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a lot of people that are in this trade short, because the short interest is really high on ChargePoint, and I guess the other ones now too. So that's gonna bring some squeezes, when they do have these little, you know, bear flags. So hopefully we'll get like a squeeze or something so I can load up some more puts because I still got the EVgo and the Blink, the BL and K puts, but I had to take the profits in the CHPT. But I'm happy to reshort if we get some little mini squeezes. That'll be nice. I mean, squeezes are really nice to short too because they just kind of the dynamics of it is the the squeeze gets exhausted at some point where when everybody's squeezed out, there's no more the volume kind of dries up on the upside and short squeezes are really good to short. Like I've shorted lots of those over the years, and I just so I've got the BL and K. I actually have monthlies for November, and maybe I'll have to roll those. And I put on some F cell puts too this week, the F cell, and I was gonna share what I did. Yeah, today I put on the AAN, the Aaron's puts, and the Januaries look really cheap. The premiums were really good, and just making sure I got all the trades I did today. I thought I did another one. Was it CAAN? Yeah, I think that was it then. Yeah, oh no, yeah, Peloton. Yeah, I put on the Peloton puts too. I got the monthly on the Peloton. But I can recap those what I was looking at on that. The Aaron's I put this on my Twitter account. The Aaron's had a bad quarter, not surprisingly. And the Aaron's CFO says this was just last week or 10/23. I guess that was like last Monday or something. I don't know, but anyway, the Aaron's is a furniture they lease. It's like lease to own furniture, kind of low end. It's obviously not like I don't know where it is on the spectrum, but it's definitely not high end. It's like kind of I would say at least middle to low end price points. I just know the gist of it, what they do. But the CFO says that I'd say the macroeconomic environment's really challenging right now for retailers who sell appliances, furniture, and electronics. So they think so basically they're saying, I think her name's Kelly. She said that it's not even their business performance. It's sector and industry wide that people are buying. The consumer's not buying as much appliances, furniture, and electronics, which is kind of a big statement because I would expect the furniture would be the first thing to drop. Furniture is really expensive, but I mean appliances would be next. Well, actually, they're probably about the same, but the appliances and furniture, it's a lot different than electronics. That's a pretty big statement to say electronics have been declining. But I mean, if that's true, that's not really good. But that's to me, that was just a good signal that things are going pretty poorly, and their core brand sales were down 17% year over year, weaker traffic, and these are brick and mortar stores too, so they're fighting that trend too. It's like it's just not really set up for success, especially if they see if it seems like the data they're seeing is that there's, broader downturn in in sales in the country. So yeah, it says the customers are picking lower price points in appliances, TVs, and computers. So yeah, so I basically, it's been trending down. Let's pull up Aaron's. Yeah, it's been trending down like a lot of these other stocks after these earnings, this year, and it had a major level there at about $9, and took that out on the earnings call, and now it's like and it just happened to be a 2020 IPO too. Just started trading in 2020. At least my data is only going back to 2020, so I just assume it is. But the important thing here is it broke down to a whole new low, and then it looks like it's bear flagging slowly, like it has in the past. Like it's kind of like this drop down there where it just dropped down and then bear flagged slowly, and the volume's just not really. The volume in the candles don't look like a short-term bottom. It just looks like a bear flag. If it was a bottom, it would have probably bullish engulfed this candle yesterday and just quick reversal, or there'd be some kind of big candle, but it seems like it's gearing up for the next leg down. So I bought the puts on this one, and was pretty happy with the going so many months out. I got the because it seems to be that this situation is getting worse for the macro environment. They're saying too. So, but I can't corroborate that statement, but that the macro environment's getting worse for furniture and stuff. But I've just been seeing it in the stock prices really. So I've kind of been letting the stock prices kind of dictate the direction, which they usually are a leading indicator to the fundamentals too. So stocks lead the economics a lot of times, both ways, up and down. So yeah, so I got the January 21st $5 puts, which if it keeps up the downtrend, it's gonna lose. I'm looking forward to lose a couple bucks in like 3 months, pretty much. So that's pretty doable at the pace it's been on. So I expect to be more gap downs. It's probably be going up against, I guess their Q4. Their Q4 is gonna provide some opportunity for another gap down too. So I think $5 is a pretty good strike. I mean, I would have taken 6 if it had some strikes for that, but and the Peloton is kind of just one of my go-to shorts. They've got earnings on Thursday, I believe, and it just hit channel resistance again. So it's a setup short, and you can see it's clearly downtrending. Like it's kind of different than the other one we looked at, where it's going sideways or up. Like this is clearly downtrending, and this stock's been annihilated too. So I'm looking. We got that level there at 430 coming up. So this can get frisky if we keep going down because it just loves to go down day after day. But I could be wrong, and it could break out of that, it could pop out of the channel. But it's just a good entry for to get to put a starter on. So that's what I traded today, and yeah, it wasn't really much. The IWM was really slow, and we're just still range bound. Like it's pretty boring. Like it seems like the market could really snap either way. But if it's gonna go down, it's just gonna keep doing slow like this. But yeah, see the S&P, based on what it's done in the past, it's probably gonna reclaim that level again. Because every time it breaks through a level, it reclaims it, and then before it goes lower. So I really think it's got a good chance of reclaiming that level there. The way it because it's pretty much just a bear trap. Like there's always traps, so it's got a perfect bear trap to maybe even take it up to the top of that channel there, like 430. That wouldn't surprise me, but I'm prepared for either way, because like I'm short some really weak stuff, or I'm long puts and weak stuff, and so that's a good. I think one of the good ones was CZR. Yeah, this one looks. There's a setup there if it gets around 41 tomorrow or the next day, because if it can't reclaim that level, this thing's going way lower. So it's still a short setup, and the SNBR, I was really right on that one. Like I noticed it here on that flag breakdown, and yeah, this one's not coming back. It doesn't look like it's coming back up. So the bottom of this channel could be like, it's got like a few bucks lower. But the puts were all over the place on this one. Like the out of the monies were. Well, I really missed the chance at I missed my chance there. I didn't trade it that next day, but this one still is weak too. And what do you know? That's a basic furniture company, beds. The one I found recently was Upwork. See, it trades in these channels. Like that's the channel was in there, and then started another channel here, and it's kind of hovering right at the channel support, and there hasn't been any volume to show me that the buyers want to come in. So this one's a short too, and I was looking at some puts on that one today. I'm not sure how good a setup that is with the way the puts were trading, but I'm just watching it right now, and I'm very short biased. I mean, ideally, there'd be a break of like $10 a share to short. So, but if I'm gonna do puts, I'd rather buy on a green day or a flat day, really. Because I don't know if we're gonna like these. I think these premiums were all over the place, or the strikes. So the Lazar has been coming down too. That was one of my other short biased ones. And I kind of lost interest in it when it got really choppy. Like it really threatened to, reverse trend there. But yeah, it was kind of like, well, I think I did the weeklies on that one. But that was kind of a missed I had a missed opportunity on that one, because it's just really downtrending strong now too. Looks like it's getting oversold, and CHPT is just it's actually kind of slowed down there on the downside. Like I hope we get at least a couple days where it comes up so I can short some more. And because I've already got the Blink and the EVgo. No, I think I sold my EVgo. Yeah, I need to get some more of these. Yeah, I sold my EVgos, so I've only got the Blink, the BLNK. Yeah, I'll have to, I'll have to put these on just to participate because I don't want to miss like a huge flush out. You know, if they go down to like $1 on bankruptcy news or something. It looks like they're knocking on the door maybe. So $2 a share. Yeah, I'll probably do just some deep out of the money. Cause I forgot I had sold those like a week ago or so, the EVgo. And I'll just try to go as far out as I can, you know, like January or maybe March. But because it'd be nice to be in another stock that, you know, is going bankrupt, like the Rite Aid. Like I was in Rite Aid puts when they declared bankruptcy, and that was a good one. So yeah, the housing was pretty strong today. Yeah, I could easily try to get a little pop here, but it's kind of messy. And my Redfin puts were good again, and it might test that level. Looks like it's still got that level to test this down channel. And I took a brief look at my scans. This will be the last thing I talk about. I did find the supernova. It was a biotech, and it wasn't really the best one, but yeah, it's the LIAN. LIAN. Yeah, this one went from like $1 to $4. I think it's gonna have a pullback, but I don't know what the news was. But it's up enough to probably get a nice red day. Looks like it must have been some big news, but I'm not really gonna, unless I can find out if it was bad news. I'm just gonna check and see what the news was. It's probably earnings, I guess, which isn't really interesting for shorting. It's usually not a good idea to short a stock that's up on earnings. Small company, yep. Oh, it's the phase 3 results. Phase 3. Is it Chinese? I think it's Chinese. Yeah, that's interesting. No, it's a United States company. Looks like they're in China though. I don't know, this is confusing. I guess their market is China. So they're based in the United States, but their market is China. But it's up on phase 3 news. That can be pretty big. I mean, obviously, so. Yeah, it's really not. I'd rather short something that's like a squeeze or just a bad company. But maybe it'll go up more. We could short it at some point. But it could be a short, if it breaks down. Yeah, it's just not my best. It's not a best setup really. And the BKSY is just kind of really ripped me up there. The calls really faked out there off that triangle break. I'm not sure what happened there, but looks like that one's gonna maybe not work out, but that's okay. I got a lot of other stuff. And the Adobe, it basically looks like it's testing that support level really well. It didn't even make it there. And it tends to kind of go sideways when it tests, so I think it's got a good shot of hitting the top of the channel again, because the company's been doing really well, and their Firefly 2 is as good as anything else out there for realistic images. So I'm bullish on this one, but I don't know if I'm gonna long it with how weak the market is. It's just not. I just don't see how they're gonna buck the trend, but it could happen, but doesn't seem very likely. If the market stays red. So yeah, the cons is the other one I'm watching for. It's on my housing stocks, housing related watch list. Cons is kind of like the Aaron's. It's like a brick and mortar too, but it's really slow. Like and the puts weren't very liquid. I mean, hopefully we can get like a pop up to like 350 or something, because it's got this downtrend. It's got that downtrend level that it's been testing. So I think it's about time maybe it'll get a little pop up. But it looks like that was off earnings is what drove that. So yeah, I mean, if that CFO saying, if the market really, I mean, if the overall demand is really weak for furniture and big stuff like that, then there's a lot of stocks that fit in that box. Like I mean, Wayfair's in a channel, and I was gonna do IWM real quick. It's yeah, it's just this choppy downtrend. It's like a downtrend that is kind of slowing down a little today, but yeah, I mean, it looks like it's due a green day, really. I mean, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if you take out that day, it's basically like 2 weeks in a row, pretty much, basically. So still a serious downtrend, and KRE is actually trying to stay out of that down channel again. Like, it's basically had, 3 kind of well, past week or so has been pretty uptrending. But yeah, it's just really choppy, and like I don't know what's gonna happen here, if it's gonna try to get a pop up, because like, and you've got the even the Nasdaq, it kind of looks like the S&P, where it's really trying to reclaim some levels here. Like, that's the downtrend level, but this is kind of the main levels, like right there. and it's really close to that. And it's got a down channel there. Yes, it looks like I wouldn't be surprised if the futures take it up to that down channel. It's right here, pretty much. Yeah, so like one more day, maybe. It's probably got one more day before it decides what it's gonna do. If it doesn't just pop out tomorrow. But yeah, it looks kind of short-term bullish. We'll see if it can, if it green candles and then, this trend line or this channel resistance fails again, then it's a short, obviously, because it's gonna fail that level. But it's just, I guess, we just gotta wait and see what happens. Sometimes I don't. It's not a lot of good trades sometimes, and these downtrends can be tough to trade sometimes because they're really slow. But I like my sectors I've got here. Just looking at these. I'm just gonna keep looking at these charging stocks short and housing related and furniture related and stuff like that. And even the office REITs, I'm gonna try to pick some spots in those to short too, like these office. I mean, I'm still short biased on these. Um, Looks like Ali's coming up to a good level there. Yeah, I think we just gotta wait. I'm just gonna wait for some good spots to get back in shorts. If this downtrend holds. So that's kind of, yeah, it's kind of sketchy. These office REIT stocks were up today, so that's not super bearish, because these are some of the least favored stocks. So yeah, I'll just wrap it up there and catch you later.